Welcome back to Worse Every Day. If you don't know, we're Canadians.
Hey, how you doing?
And here we sit on the eve of the Trump tariffs. They've been on again, they've been off again.
And now they're back on. So we figured what better time than now to take a closer look at these Canadians for Trump?
Yeah.
Still? These Maple MAGAs? We actually don't agree with the term Maple MAGA. I feel like it's a little bit too dignified.
Yeah, and we love our maple in Canada.
It's a national treasure. I bathe in maple syrup. So last night I pulled out the dictionary and I stayed up all night. I went through every single page, determined to find a better word to describe these Maple MAGAs. And I think I actually found it, guys. Where is it? I had this page earmarked. There we go. Ah, yes. Retard.
It's getting worse every day.
I've never understood this. These guys are all like tough. They like military and guns and big trucks and alpha males. But then at the same time, they desperately want to be ruled by Donald Trump. They want to bend the knee and kiss the ring and call this guy their king.
What he says goes.
It's like so gay. How can you be a man and say, that's my alpha male? I'm going to be a little beta bitch and he's the alpha. He gets to call all the shots now. Rule me, Donald. Please, I must be ruled.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, well, let's not forget in Alberta, we have a history of this here. The 90s, early 2000s, we had our very own King Ralph.
Oh, yes. King Ralph. I remember that
Ralph
guy.
Klein.
Fat, bloated, straight shooter. Everybody loved him.
Of course, he pointed out to the media that I missed breakfast. Well, first of all, I have to, secondly, first of all, I was drinking then, and I had a hangover, and secondly, I was
He knocked you out?
He yelled
Alcoholic.
at homeless people on the streets.
Yeah.
He's all hammered.
Wrote us all checks for $400 back in like the early 2000s. And I needed it.
Yeah.
I needed my booze and gas money for my 79 Le Mans.
Yeah, I was going to say. I'm trying to remember. What did I spend it on? I'm pretty sure I had to sink some money into my Oldsmobile Delta 88.
Who else do you know was driving an 88 and a 79 in the 2000s?
And to everyone that thinks Donald Trump doesn't want to be king, that's just something you libtards like to get worked up about. Let's not forget, this is the guy that posted this.
Nice.
And this from the White House.
Very classy. Very classy.
And then we can't overlook this video he shared on his Truth Social.
As if he gives a shit about kids. Nice. Big fat bloated balloon head.
Oh, what's Melania think of that?
Just kids throwing money in the air on a beach.
Gold statue. Oh,
That's why
We have an opportunity to do something that could be phenomenal. And I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad. This could be so magnificent.
once you got all those people out of there.
Yeah, I actually read that it was all a satire based on that quote.
I was looking at it and I'm like, why does Donald even like this? Because
Yeah.
it portrays him as a big fat bloated pig.
Yeah.
But then there's that one shot of the golden statue.
Yeah, he looks regal.
And he
in
looks
that.
very thin and good looking. I bet that's what it was.
That's what got him.
Yeah, he's like, ooh, I like that statue. Send it out.
What a creep.
King creep. Hey, MAGAs, you got yourselves a big creep there. And you're probably all freaking out right now, saying we're a couple of babies.
Yeah, Justin Trudeau lovers.
Trump doesn't want to be king. He's just messing around. He doesn't want to be dictator. Let me ask you guys a question, though. How do you feel about the fact that your country is now aligned with the what's it called? What did George Bush call it? Oh yeah, the axis of evil.
I haven't heard the George Bush impression in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And there was the UN vote about Ukrainian sovereignty, and the US voted alongside Russia, Belarus, and North Korea.
Wow, those are good friends to have.
Yeah. And then if that doesn't make you think, whose side is Trump really on? Breaking news, the US suspends all military aid to Ukraine.
Is that what you guys want, MAGAs? Are you so miserable that you want to see the whole world burn?
Seems that way.
It kind of feels like that.
But I caught this clip with Trump and Macron, and I swear to God, I caught him in a little Freudian slip discussing these tariffs.
Some of these agreements, I'd read them at night and I'd say, who would ever sign a thing like this?
You signed
So
it
the tariffs
4 years
will
ago,
go
buddy.
forward, yes, and we're going to make up a lot of territory. All we want is reciprocal.
We're going to make up a lot of territory.
There it is.
Yeah, does that not seem concerning to anybody else?
Tariffs, territory,
Yeah.
potato.
And so you think, okay, territory, our land, our resources, but I actually thought of it from another angle as well. Did you know that Puerto Rico is actually considered a territory of the United States?
I don't know any of that.
You are a U.S. citizen, you follow the laws of the U.S. government, but you do not even get to vote in federal elections. Does he really want us to be a 51st state, or is he just interested in us as a territory?
Yeah, exactly. He wants our resources, and if he doesn't get them from us, then it gives him an excuse to go to Russia.
And we're going to have more on that later.
But that brings us to our next section. We thought it would be fun to address some of the MAGA comments that we get in our videos. I don't know what the YouTube algorithm is thinking, but it keeps showing us to the MAGAs.
Yeah, they
And,
love to comment.
I'll say this before we read these things. MAGAs, if you want people to take your movement seriously, maybe start sending out some smarter people. You are not showing your best in these comment sections at all.
We couldn't understand what the fuck you were saying sometimes.
And you can't blame it on Russian bots either, because
True.
some of these comments, we actually knew these people.
Yeah. The Gretzky video had like not even 2,000 views, and somebody Darren grew up with was commenting on there.
We'll get to that later, though. So we got Gary Laroca 8499 calls us 3 cunts with microphones. You bitches should start worrying about why you can't win a Stanley Cup, LOL. Your show needs a douche. Okay, so this guy sees 3 people when he looks at our show. What does that tell you?
Ooh.
Holy shit, what do we have next? Perhaps you should expand your knowledge of how the world works beyond what the CBC tells you. You know, very true. If I watch the CBC, I don't even have cable. We're strictly YouTube here.
I listened to a CBC podcast a few months ago that was really well done.
Can't watch CBC anymore.
No,
it's
too
part of the
woke.
propaganda machine. Low T male. This guy's got low T. Who watches another man on a podcast and your first thought is, I think his T might be low. This guy's a low T male. Yeah.
For sure.
I think you might be a low T male, buddy. If that's you're looking for,
That's what you're
yeah,
worried
that's
about?
what you're projecting onto the people you're watching. I wonder if this guy's got low T. No, his T's pretty good.
Oh no, and he's a Toyota guy. So Lika
Oh.
GT is a little Toyota car.
Who cares?
Fuck you, buddy.
Low T. I love Wayne. I love what Trump is doing. And this is fun watching TDS in full display. Lefties have no clue. This could all be an act by these morons, but I doubt it. You can't fake this level of stupidity. Well said, Glenn Ward. Well said. 2 snakes in the grass. Again, what have you 2 ever did? Sounds like you had a scripted. Sorry, I gotta get this right. Sound like you had to scripted it. All proves one thing. I can't even talk like this guy writes. What the fuck?
This is back to not sending your best people.
Okay, let me just try this again. 2 snakes in the grass. Again, what have you 2 done? Oh, no, wait. Let me try that again. I literally, this guy's writing makes my brain feel like it's like getting pulled inside out. Okay, we got Simple Simon. He says, 2 snakes in the grass. Again, what have you two ever did? Sound like you had to scripted it all. Proves one thing, any idiots can start a YouTube channel. Okay. Once again, guys, MAGAs, if you want people to actually take you seriously, send better people out. Can't understand what the hell you're trying to say. Did you write that?
I think I did. Yeah. But thanks for the engagement.
Yeah. Oh, and he responded.
Yes, he did.
Hey, what have you two... Oh, he's repeating it?
Yes.
What have you two ever did, you two? Oh, wait. Yeah, there's 2 2s in there, but he used the number for the second one. Hey, what have you two ever did, you two? Get a job, too. Oh, wait. Hey, what have you two ever did to get a job? 2 punks, you're not funny. And your stupid fake laugh, get lost. Okay, man. You're so stupid, she's like tearing up right now.
Oh my God.
Does it make you feel good to know that you're so dumb? My wife is gonna have to redo her eye makeup with her fake laugh. You can't fake tears, buddy.
Whatever have we did, LOL.
I love the snakes in the grass. Like we just have this podcast, we're ready to pounce. 2 snakes in the grass. You better look out.
What have we
We're gonna
ever
get
did?
you.
Gretzky is a great person, Trump's a great person, and we're going to make America great again, and we want to make Canada great again. I know that people in Canada like Trump and they want their own Trump. The only period.
Yeah. I had some fun responding to some of these people.
Yeah, I loved this one.
I said, if only your English teacher had been a great person. Good thing Trump's bringing back coal mining. You might find a job. You two sound like idiots. Put your helmet back on and take those glasses off inside. I took Jimmy Fallon off my list for spreading hate, and now you as well.
Whoa, we're in the same
Ouch.
category as Jimmy Fallon?
Thank you. Take my glasses. They really bother people. Sorry, guys. I know it would probably make you cream your pants if you saw my beautiful blue eyes. Not yet. I'll tell you what, when we get to 1 million subscribers, I'll take the glasses off. That'll be a treat. Treat for you. I know it's a stereotype, but I thought Canadians were supposed to be nice. You folks are kind of rude. Yeah.
Oh, John Marty, you made our night. When this came in, we were like, we just kept repeating it all night. But I thought Canadians were supposed to be nice.
You want to know something? We're not nice. We're what you call passive aggressive.
Yeah.
We're nice to your face, and then as soon as you leave the room, we're like, what a fucking moron.
True.
Good for nothing liberal supporters here.
Supporters.
Good job, Don Swanson, 1205.
What a mustache.
Like, how do you not catch a typo like that?
I love Canada, but hate our 50% income taxes.
Phony.
Yeah. RL5579. If you're paying anywhere close to 50%, that means you're making over $253,000 a year. I'm not feeling too sorry for you. Maybe you'd prefer to live in the US and pay $24,000 a year for health insurance and 1.5% property taxes.
And then another guy, most likely a Kremlin bot. Probably.
Yeah,
You never know.
Like, who told you pay 50% income taxes? Maybe you're not the best at math. 270 whole subscribers and dropping. LOL, what a joke.
Not sure what he got with the dropping thing.
Yeah.
When we published this video, we had like 60 subscribers, and then we shot up to 400, and this
Yeah.
guy's like 270 and dropping.
Yeah.
MAGA, what a mo.
Whoa.
Once again, I apologize for pronouncing it MAGA. I'm new to this. I never paid attention to you bozos until recently. We had no intention of making this podcast political.
Yeah,
Believe me.
Trump is doing this. If you have a problem with us talking about this shit, blame Trump, because we don't want to be talking about it either. Ask the people of Alberta. This is a pathetically far-left progressive podcast site. similar to those in California and New York in the USA. How's Justin Trudeau doing for you, lefty Canadians?
All right. You know what? I take that as a compliment.
Yeah,
California
exactly.
and New York.
Like, the two film capitals
Yeah.
of the country. There are some radical far-left liberals in Alberta. Who would have known? Some fringe minorities live everywhere, I suppose.
The funny thing is, we're not radical far left. Fucking clowns.
Yeah.
That's the world we live in now. If you think Trump is a moron, that automatically makes you radical far left.
Yes.
This moron, narcissistic,
Yeah.
psychopath liar that never says a single thing true
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Normal people are supposed to embrace that.
Yeah. You're either Trump or you're Justin Trudeau, at least for these Maple MAGAs.
Yeah. Okay, so this guy I know. Yeah, he's like, newsflash. Most people agree with Trump. Why would Gretzky be any different? Also, Darren, is that it? Newsflash, most people don't agree with Trump unless you live in a bubble.
Oh my God, yeah. You know you're part of a cult to win.
Looks like a bunch of liberals suffering TDS and trying to talk tough like Trudeau. Yeesh, bailing out of this garbage.
I didn't know Trudeau was known for talking
Yeah.
tough. I don't think that's his brand.
Every
is it?
time I think to myself, come on, man, be tough, be tough.
Be like Justin
Be like Trudeau.
Trudeau.
Yes. That'll get me out of this jam.
Oh, and there's a few of these TDS comments.
TDS, if that isn't the biggest example of gaslighting
Yeah.
I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
You
Trump
guys-
derangement syndrome, they
Yeah.
claim.
You guys worship this like psychopathic, narcissistic liar
Yeah.
who doesn't give a flying fuck about any of you. And you think that people with common sense are the ones with derangement syndrome.
Yeah. Boo-hoo, bleeding heart liberals are butthurt because he didn't speak out on Trump's shat. Big effing deal. He does live in America, has the right to vote the way he wants. STFU. This should be called Worst Podcast of the Year, LOL. And it's MAGA, not MAGA, la moron. And I ain't no Trumper. Your goofball podcast is about as funny as a boil on your ass.
Okay, you just outed yourself as an 85-year-old man with boil on your ass.
Poor little liberals all butthurt because Wayne actually has a brain. Canada always does this, jealousy attacks success from petty jealousy. What a couple of no-talent pretenders you both are. That
Yeah.
comes from Freedom 1028.
Freedom 10, that's probably, no, that's too, a Russian bot would have had better English. That's just another moron. Wow, how sad lefties. Such Trudeau fans. Love Gretzky a hero. What? Canadians with TDS. Again,
Really?
who are these geniuses?
What a bunch of dimwits you clowns are. Maybe you're jealous of his success rather than sitting behind a mic with glasses.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, what's up with that, Robert Dobbin?
Yeah, a lot of guys want me to take my glasses
Yeah,
off. I don't
they have
understand
a
what's going
real
on there.
problem.
Oh my god, I think I lost some brain cells listening to these clowns. The ignorance of the left is just staggering. Can't wait to become the 51st state and watch these clowns move to Ontario or Quebec.
He wants us to leave Alberta
Yeah.
because we think MAGA is evil after Donald Trump said he wants to take our fucking country from us.
Yeah. And how about the fact that Ontario has just re-elected a conservative, Doug Ford, once again? I mean, this guy has his history, but he is fucking kicking ass right now when
Big
it comes
fans.
to diplomacy.
We're big fans.
Yeah, so he just won re-election in Ontario, and now he's playing tough, and he's threatening to shut off Ontario's electricity exports into the States.
Please do. I'd love to see
Yeah,
that.
so in honor of...
Now who wants to see the world burn?
Yeah, in honor of Doug and the re-election and Ontario playing tough, which we support, I bought some Ontario wine.
Nice. Serious case of TDS here. Not subbing. Okay.
Oh my God.
Parvent.
And this Russell Grosser, he got in on so many of the comments. Shout outs to Russell. He was amazing. He was standing up for us. I found out he's from New York. He's a huge Calgary Flames fan, but now he likes somebody from Edmonton, and that's us.
Thanks, Russell. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Jimothy Cricket. The pedo with the sunglasses is getting dragged in the comments. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
A lot of people want to see these sunglasses come
Yeah.
off. Guys, I'm not doing it. Not till we have 1 million subscribers. Your show sucks. Shit emoji 6 times. Don't disrespect the great one. Okay, I'm not sure the whole country feels that way. We got Ko Fangang Summer. And keep in mind, he edited this. So you know he worked on it for a long time.
And he does not look like your typical mega either. Canadians are simpletons and easily manipulated. I was at the final game in Boston. No one booed Gretzky. Media says people are booing him, and the gullible sheep just follow. Gretzky criticized for not wearing a Canada jersey, but not Lemieux. This podcast is a loser pod. Canadians know they are gullible, right?
I would say the guy who wasted an hour of his day working on this comment to post on a podcast with less than 400 subscribers is the gullible fucking moron.
Yeah, I'd say so.
What a waste of time, buddy.
Yeah, and I mean, nobody actually said that Gretzky was booed. The articles were just that Canadians were frustrated with him, and the point of our video was that, of course, Gretzky went to the game on U.S. soil, but he didn't show up in person in Montreal because he knew he'd be booed there.
This is all... oh, my throat. This is all overreaction. These guys are wrong. Not all Canadians are mad at Gretzky. They actually mad at Trudeau and the Liberals. Diverting from the real issue is a retarded move by simpleton Liberals. Okay. Very offended by the word retard, by the way.
Oh, I wrote this one. The real simpletons are those who think opposing Trump's desire to annex Canada automatically means supporting Trudeau. Diverting from the real issue of protecting national sovereignty and preventing economic warfare is your retarded take.
Nice. I didn't even know that. You commented on that one.
Yeah.
But you know, I feel like this is a good time for us to say, yeah, we live in Alberta. Yeah, we are not fans of MAGA at all. Hate MAGA. But also not fans of Trudeau, and that throws a lot of people off.
Yeah, because we're not part of the cults.
Yeah,
People don't realize you're allowed to be in the middle.
Yeah, you don't have to live on the extremes here, guys. We're actually excited to see Trudeau, on his way out. We want pipelines. We want less environmental regulations. We want interprovincial trade. We want a thriving economy. And right now, with everything that's going on, this is what our country needs. We don't need to be annexed.
Yeah.
You morons. That's your solution to become Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
This panel. So apparently we're a panel.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Wow.
This panel appears to have TDS. I think
Once
this
again.
Ron guy commented a few times.
Again with the TDS, the goddamn gaslighting.
Yeah. It's supposed to be funny. Gretzky is a legend. TDS, shit libs are embarrassing.
Shit libs, I like that.
I love his handle. Guy who makes pretty good comments.
Oh, yeah, you
he's
do.
proud of that.
You're on the wrong team though. Get off the MAGA
yeah.
team and join people with common sense.
There you go.
I guess this is the site where everyone has Trudeau's balls in their mouth. Very true, very true.
Guess so.
Yeah, we love the balls.
Oh, here's Russell again standing up for us. Russell wrote, Trump devotion syndrome? Well, yes, Wayne does suffer from that.
I love this Russell
Well
guy.
done, Russell.
You are an honorary subscriber. I
If we
hope you
could make
subscribe.
you a Canadian, we would.
Yep. What do we got next?
Oh.
I love this.
You are the type that his I loser, loser, your wife needs I real man.
Oh no. Oh, I feel so threatened. Are you gonna leave me for this guy?
Pascal Beauchamp.
You are the type that his I loser, loser, your wife needs I real man. That's a real comment. Who are these people?
They stand behind this as well.
Are these meth heads?
Oh, I think that's our last one. We made
Oh,
it.
well, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Well, so we have some other ones we're going to go through when we do our Gretzky follow-up video, so don't worry. We
Yeah.
have more coming.
Keep the hate coming. We love it. All right. Wasn't that fun?
Yes.
I enjoyed that.
Two snakes in the grass.
We're going to get you. Couple of snakes. You know, speaking of grass, we're in the thick of it here in Alberta. Maple MAGA country.
Oh, yeah. Alberta's got to be the hot spot in the country for sure.
Yes. I don't know anyone else that has giant billboards like this going up.
Yeah.
Right along the busiest stretch of highway in our province.
I think this was taken back in like January. She was meeting with Trump at Mar-a-Lago, trying to get him on her side. I don't think it's helped. Let's watch this.
While the Premier says she sees no interest from Albertans for the province to become the 51st state.
Agreed.
Smith was asked about that today after a billboard was spotted near Bowden showing a picture of her next to Donald Trump. The billboard urges Albertans to lobby Smith to help make Canada the 51st state. Smith says she's heard the opposite, adding Albertans are asking her to put Canada first, tear down interprovincial barriers, and build new pipeline infrastructure.
Yeah.
I've seen a sea change in attitudes across the entire country. I'm very, very encouraged by that. So I don't think there's a lot of enthusiasm for what the billboard says or what the president has been talking about.
The provincial and local governments say they have nothing to do with the billboard. A group called America Fund paid for the ads. The group was formerly behind the Wexit movement. It plans to add more signs along the QE2 and Trans-Canada.
Okay. Keep blowing your money, boys.
Yeah. Wonder where that original money comes from. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a connection to motherland Russia.
I don't peddle in conspiracies, but you're probably right.
And now she's even smart enough to read the room and be like, no, I am not hearing that people want to be part of the 51st state. It's
No.
like there's been MAGA before this bullshit and now post tariffs.
And that's what we're making fun of today, is the MAGAs that are still hanging on.
And the people that don't know, Wexit is basically a movement that happened in Alberta 10 years ago or so, where they were trying to get Alberta to leave Canada. Our landlocked province needs to leave Canada and become its own independent nation.
Genius.
Yeah. And so now they've given up on that and they're like, let's just be Canadians for Trump. Let's become the 51st state instead.
Let's check out this America Fund.
Okay, so here's their website.
Canadians for the 51st state.
Yeah.
Okay,
Check this
right
out.
off the bat, I'm annoyed. As someone that's dabbled in web design, I don't like all the different fonts.
Yeah.
Very
Trashy.
tacky.
The calm within the storm.
Expanding freedom. Canadians helping Canadians become Puerto Ricans.
What? And we checked out their Facebook page. These guys only have 13,000 members
13,000.
out of a province of approaching 5 million.
You guys got 13,000.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. And so the tariffs are starting tomorrow. Oil and gas is only 10%. I guess that's a little bit of a relief for us in Alberta. But I think it's safe to say the entire country is going to be rocked.
Rocked hard. I just said I don't peddle in conspiracy theories, but there's some people online talking about Trump intentionally creating division between the East and the West of Canada. You know, he's tariffing 25% on all our goods and services, which he knows is going to hurt Ontario and Quebec. but then only 10% on energy, which is going to benefit Alberta. Once again, you know, create that division and then swoop in and take the country.
Yeah. Okay, before we move on, I need to show you this interview of this Peter Downing, the guy behind this America Fund. This guy basically is speaking for Canadian MAGAs.
So which one's
the one on the right?
Oh, yeah, I should have known. He looks like an idiot.
And this guy that's interviewing him, I don't know much about him, but he did not hold back, which I really appreciated.
You've really kind of given me like a Coles Notes tour of why you believe, and the Coles Notes tour is sort of non-committal in my opinion, but it's also interesting, and I really value what you've just said, which is like, hey, there's a bunch of stuff that pisses me off. And I think Canada should be
not me. This is a reflection of what pisses a lot of people in Alberta off. And yes, okay. It does piss me off too. But I wouldn't just put my own thing up there. It's substantial enough that it merited putting out.
And the substantiality it lies behind the 60% reduction in taxes because we get taxed too much. Is that correct? Okay. And the other stuff is, you know. And I'm trying to figure this out as I go. The other stuff that you've cited as a reason for buying billboards and asking Danielle Smith, and I just want to bring this up again because it's a fucking sweet billboard, by the way.
Oh, easy, cool buddy.
Billboard. It's a digital billboard
That's not
outside
sweet.
of Bowden, Alberta. The reason behind that is because of the tax cuts and.
Well, the tell Danielle part, I mean, that's the other side of obviously tell Danielle's, you know, it gets
there is
in your
nothing
mind
else
and
other than the
memorable.
taxes.
She's been speaking out of both sides of her face when it comes to how we're going to, you know, deal with tariffs and oil and gas exports and jobs and investments and all that kind of stuff, which isn't going to change the situation.
Okay, so I get that. Do you want Canada to join the United States preemptively to save the salary of people in the oil patch?
If we were, I guess if it comes to it, and if there were, and my sound bite was, well, if Ottawa is saying that oil and gas tariffs and export tariffs and embargoes aren't off the table, then becoming the 51st state is not off the table as well. Right. And it's that option out there because I'm not willing to lose my job over oil and gas tariffs and embargoes. I'm a real person.
Yeah,
100%. I'm a real person with a real family. If I was in those dudes' boots, I wonder how much comfort it is to those guys here. Oh, we're going to have a tariff war with Trump and Ford's
hear that Canadian accent?
Oh, well,
guys.
you know, that's going to lose 500,000 jobs. I'm like, yeah, bud. Wait until
I'm like, oh yeah, bud. Just.
So he actually didn't go to Mar-a-Lago. He went to D.C.
Oh, Washington, right?
Yeah, it sounds like Bob and Doug talk.
Let's light up Sparky. Like,
douche move for sure.
Canada should accept any level of damage, and I would impoverish people to save Canadian identity. Like, jump off a bridge, bud.
Oh, so that's interesting. And I want to challenge you on that, and I want to kind of go down that
Jump
road.
off a bridge, then preserve our identity?
A part of the resentment that you have is like, fuck you, if you're not going to take care of me and my family, we're going to feather the nest.
We would also double our daily output of oil from 4.6 million barrels a day to about 10. So
which would give you job security, right?
A lot of us would make a lot more money.
Well, exactly. So listen, here's the thing. You come at your patriotism through your paycheck. Most people do. It's not a slight. You're the leader of the Wexit movement. You started that in 2019. You're like, fuck this, let's get out of here. We can do our own thing. We've got lots of oil. We've got lots of this. But your job is intrinsically tied to the oil patch, right? You found a place in the oil patch. You make pretty good dough, I would imagine.
So I got a bunch
you got lots
of
kids. Yeah. You have
hey,
several children.
I'm 1950s. I'm 1950.
He has charges pressed against him for uttering threats to one of his exes. And he's got a ton of kids. He's a 1950s guy, though.
What I'm trying to understand here is how someone like you could be so disaffected that he goes from Ontario to Alberta, and then becomes a guy that puts up a billboard that says, basically, fuck Canada. We need to leave and go and join the United States.
Maybe I've got vaccine-induced autism or something like that. And I've got like no emotions about it. I think here's a better way to approach this. President Trump and the Americans will not tolerate Chinese and Russian anchor in the Arctic. And the Brian Lilly interview with Steve Bannon, I think, was pretty good on that.
Dean's going to call him out on that.
Okay, so
really, you think that President Trump doesn't want anything to do with Russia being involved in American business? Dude, he's currently licking Vladimir Putin. Same thing. He's currently licking Vladimir Putin's balls.
Yeah. I don't get I don't take I don't get that. I don't get
you don't get it by him admonishing Ukraine and calling Zelensky a dictator? You don't get that?
I see President Trump taking $500 billion in minerals out of Ukraine. I see the interest there.
You see, yeah. I know you do because you're smart. You're a smart guy. You understand this. You don't see a country that's been invaded by Russians and women, children, raped, 25,000 children being literally sucked out of Ukraine and taken to Russia. You don't see the.
I work with a lot of dudes tell me their stories how they got out and that I work with. For sure.
And you don't.
I guess where I'm going is,
No, hang on. Just give me a second. Let me finish. Because I want you to finish too.
Sure.
You don't see the lack of humanity in how the United States has taken this heel turn and decided to enrich themselves on the back of genocide and rape and torture. Like, do you not see that?
I thought the whole war was bullshit from both sides anyways.
Oh my god.
You think it's bullshit from the side of Ukrainians who were invaded? Who are trying to protect their families?
I don't live there.
So it doesn't matter to me.
I know you don't live there, and this is the problem. A lot of us come at these global skirmishes. A lot of us come at these ideological issues from a perspective of self-interest, and that's what I'm trying to understand.
For me, I'll be honest. I care about starving kids in Africa. When I see the back in the 80s, donate and give, starving kids in Africa, right? The Ukraine thing is kind of like that to me. The Israel-Palestine thing is kind of like that to me. That's over there. I don't wish death or misery upon anybody.
What's going on in Ukraine doesn't matter to him because he doesn't live there, and he admits he works with Ukrainians that got out. They tell him their stories, and it means nothing.
Yeah, he's like, I hear their stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're over there.
Yeah.
The same thing, starving kids in Africa, Ukraine, the Palestinian thing. I'm more worried about what's going on here.
Yeah.
Like the interviewer said, like the lack of humanity behind it. I understand, it's one thing to be conservative and to not be super progressive, but at some point you have to factor people in rape and murder and genocide, and you're just like, but that's over there. I'm a little bit more worried about my little stupid oil and gas job.
I don't get it. I don't.
I think that explains what's behind a lot of the rationalization of the Canadian MAGAs.
I really honestly believe that people like that, they're just miserable and they're grumpy and they're mad at the world and they just want to see everything around them burn.
Yeah.
They just want to create chaos because they're not happy.
Yeah.
Again, he's just like,
I remember the, feed the starving kids in Africa in the 80s, and Ukraine just sort of feels like that to me, and the whole Israel-Palestine thing, it's over there. I'm worried about what I have.
Fuck you.
Yes. And so now here we are. We're on the eve of tariffs, 25% blankets, 10% with oil and gas. Although we are their democratic ally, we have gone to war. Our soldiers died in Afghanistan. We are the biggest suppliers of potash, of aluminum, of all these important resources that Trump is already floating out in the public that he's looking at buying from Russia, from Belarus. They want our eggs. They're after our beautiful bird flu free eggs.
Not our eggs. These are our eggs. Our cheap eggs.
Yeah.
I'm going to incubate these and raise chickens. They're probably still good.
And before anyone wants to call us out.
Oh, our Miller Lite sign.
Yeah, we know.
We're getting rid of it.
Yeah.
We're getting rid of it.
New one's on order. Darren's just not okay with that being dark. So.
I like the colors. That's the only reason we bought it. We went with an orange and blue theme.
Mm-hmm.
It fit perfectly.
And also my grandmother was a Miller, so there was a sentimental connection.
Yes, and I like beer. That helps, even though I never drink Miller Lite. We reached out to them. We said, hey, do you want to sponsor us? And they're like, no. So fuck you, the sign's going.
Well, they're not a Canadian company, so they don't deserve that space on our wall anyways.
Yeah. We have 400 subs. How dare you not sponsor us? Just kidding. We just started the channel, guys. We get mocked for how few subs we have,
Yeah.
but we just started.
We're trying.
Yeah, we're growing.
So not only is Donald Trump influencing our economy, he's also playing a big detrimental effect on Canadian elections, especially for
Pierre Poilievre.
Yes. Isn't this the guy that was like, fuck Trudeau, axe the taxes? This is who these guys should be standing behind. And now instead, PP is paying the price as being seen as too loyal to Trump previously. And since this 51st state stuff has started, he is completely plummeted in the polls. You're going to want to hear what Trump had to say.
The president's personal attacks on Canada have usually been launched at the prime minister. But in a podcast interview with the United Kingdom Spectator, Donald Trump broadened his volleys at Canada. First, going after Liberal leadership candidate Chrystia Freeland.
She's terrible. I'll tell you what, I know her very well. She's
What a nice
incompetent in many respects and can only cause ill will for Canada.
But Trump didn't just hit Liberals. The president unsure about Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre.
Well, I think his biggest problem is he's not a MAGA guy, you know? I mean, he's really not. He's not a Trump guy at all. I don't like what he's saying about me. It's just not positive about me.
Poilievre punching back. Mr. President, it is true. I'm not MAGA. I'm for Canada first, always. Additional pushback against Trump is more politically challenging for Poilievre, with polling showing over 40% of Conservative voters have a positive view of the president. A political dynamic that the Liberals are trying to tie to Poilievre in a recently launched TV ad campaign.
Fake news.
Fake news.
The left-wing censorship regime.
Their woke censorship ideology.
Defeating the radical left.
Radical leftist.
This strategy part of a rapidly shifting political landscape, Carolyn, that now sees the Liberals in a virtual tie with the Conservatives in national polls.
Oh, PP's losing right now.
I'll say I don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give him a boost.
Yeah, you sound a little pouty.
Yeah, he did. I didn't even think of it from that angle. It never even occurs to me that Trump could be that smart.
Yeah, well, it's part of their playbook.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Putin was saying that he wanted to endorse Kamala Harris.
I've said that our so-to-say favorite was the acting president, Mr. Biden. He's been taken out of the race, but he advised all his supporters to support Mrs. Harris. That's what we'll do. We'll support her as well. Her laugh is so expressive and infectious. That means that she's doing well.
PP in general, he's going to have some work to do to get people back on his side and believing him. Like, a lot of people associate him as being Canada's biggest Trumper. Here's a shot of his chief of staff, Jenny Byrne. Oh, Dean Blundell. That's the same guy that we just watched in that interview. I didn't even realize that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so yeah, that has people feeling sus towards PP. He's going to have to do a lot more work than this.
Let me be clear. We will never be the 51st state. We will bear any burden and pay any price to protect the sovereignty and independence of our country.
Do you think he's got enough time that he's going to be able to convince Canadians that he'll stand up to Trump?
I think if you put powerful music behind anyone, it makes their message sound really, really good.
That's so true.
But it's obvious he's pivoting.
Yes.
He's leaving his little MAGA group in the dust
Yeah.
because he can see that Canadians are feeling patriotic right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that leaves the little MAGA rats with a decision.
Yeah.
What are you guys going to do? Are you going to pivot?
Yeah.
And you going to stick with your boy, PP?
Mhm.
Or are you guys diehard 51st state?
Exactly. You can't
What's your
have
choice?
both.
Because it's black and white,
yeah,
remember?
exactly.
It's black and white.
Yep.
Hey, we said we didn't like Trump, and we didn't like Gretzky wearing a MAGA hat.
Yeah.
That makes us Trudeau lovers,
That's
obviously.
what you said. Yeah.
Yeah, even though we're not. So what are you if it's
Yeah.
black and white?
Yeah. Buy Canada first.
Yeah.
Cancel your U.S. vacations. Let's just hit them where it hurts.
Newsflash, most people agree with Trump. Fuck you.
I'm a Canadian, I'm a Canadian. From sea to shining sea. Yeehaw, eh?